everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the solid color build challenge. So this is a challenge that was created by Golden Simmer, and basically you have one color and that is the only color that you are allowed to use in that build. So walls, flooring, furnishings, everything has to be only that color. And like if an item has multiple colors on it, it has to be predominantly the color that you've been chosen or have been assigned for this build. So I've been wanting to do a blue house for a very long time, and this basically gave me a good excuse to go ahead and make a blue house. So I am a child of the 90s, and the song Blue by Eiffel 65, which was in the intro, came out when I was like 7th grade or so. So it has, like, you know, the songs that are like really big, like when you're a teenager and a young adult, like those are the songs that really stick with you. Well, for me, it's Eiffel 65 Blue. So I was listening to the 90s radio station on my Sirius radio in my car the other day, and I was like, I would love to do a song about the guy that lives in the blue house and everything is blue. And so then I just happened to see this challenge on the Sim Supplies channel where he did a purple house, and I was like, blue is way better than purple. I'm going to do blue. So it actually turns out that blue is a pretty easy color to do in this challenge. So if you're a little unsure, I recommend doing blue because there are blue objects in just about every category. Whereas some of the other colors, you know, they might not have toilets or refrigerators or whatever, like, you know, critical things that a house would need. That's not the case for this house. There's pretty much everything, and I decided to only do like a house for a single sim because that's what fits the song. But if I wanted to, I very easily could have added in more bedrooms and kids stuff, and, you know, this could have been a blue mansion for a very happy blue guy and his whole family if I wanted to do so. But I decided to stick with, you know, the spirit of the song, and there's stuff for one person and their pet cat. And that's it. So yeah, also I do apologize if I sound like stuffy and kind of congested. I'm still getting over a cold, and it's just like, it is terrible. Like, either myself or my husband has been sick for like almost the entire month of January, and it is no fun. First of all, I don't like sick people because I don't like taking care of sick people, and that includes myself. So I'm just really annoyed with myself right now. But yeah, so I apologize if I sound like congested or whatever, but that's why. So I really wish that, like, you know, with the Get to Work expansion pack, when they added in sicknesses as part of the doctor career, they also added in the ability to, like, treat yourself at home with, like, at-home remedies by, like, drinking a cup of tea or having a glass of orange juice. Like, I've had so much tea and orange juice in the past few days. Like, I should have been healed 20 times over by now. But unfortunately, I don't live in The Sims, which sometimes I really wish I did. Anyways, so back to the build. So I decided to kind of go for a little bit of an outdated look, especially on the first floor. The second floor of the house is a little bit more of a navy blue, a little bit more subdued. But the first floor has like this bright blue wood paneling on most of the walls, and then the kitchen it's like that blue big tile on the walls. And I sort of specifically tried to go for a look that was like, this was really popular like 25 to 30 years ago. So like 90s, maybe a little bit of like a late 80s vibe. Just because that was sort of the color, like the things that I was looking at, that's what was coming up. I was like, okay, we can go with that. And I also sort of felt like it went along well with the guy from the song. That like, he probably thinks that this is like a super cool, awesome looking house and doesn't realize that like, maybe it could use an update here or there. Like, I don't know, you always see like well, okay, in my area, I see a lot of times like house listings of like older homes that are like the original McMansions, like from the late 80s and the early 90s, and they haven't been touched since that time period, and it's just so cringy. It's so cringy. Like, please update your house. Like, do something. And it always seems like the kitchens and the bathrooms are never updated. So, especially with the kitchen in particular, I tried to make it seem like this was something that might have been really innovative and cool looking like a long time ago. And honestly, it's not a bad kitchen. I mean, it's very blue, obviously. But aside from that, it's not a bad kitchen. It's just not my taste. Or not many people, at least not currently. I don't think this would be their taste. Like, I don't know if any of you watch the show The Good Place on NBC. First of all, I highly recommend it. It is a fantastic show. It's done by the people who did Parks and Rec. So if you like Parks and Rec, you'll probably like The Good Place. Plus, Kristen Bell is like the main character, and she had a minor part on Parks and Rec. But anyways, there's a character on The Good Place named Mindy St. Clair, and she's not in the good place or the bad place. She's in like the in-between place, and so her house is done like in this like not good but not bad style, and it's like very 80s and 90s looking. Like it's not like cute and quaint, but it's also not like awful and disgusting. It's just sort of like kind of average. So that's sort of what I was going for here. I also tried to make it seem like this is the house where somebody who lives here probably wants to throw like a lot of parties to impress their friends, but they might not have very many friends. Like, you know, how do I explain this? It's like when you're thinking about throwing a party for the first time and like you see what a party is like on TV shows and in movies, and you sort of think like, oh, that'll be like what a party is like in real life. And it never is. It never goes that way. So I sort of feel like this is designed by somebody who was like, I'm going to be like a super cool party dude, and people are going to like hang out here and go to my cool light up bar and sit at my big fancy table. And you know, that probably isn't going to be the case. Because if you listen to the lyrics of the song, the blue guy is kind of depressed. Like, his life is a little sad. But yeah, so then upstairs I decided to do something a little different and go more navy blue rather than like aquamarine blue. Because it's all still blue. This is also interesting. Things that the game categorizes as blue aren't necessarily blue. Like, some of it looks more gray to me, and I don't know, maybe it's just my monitor settings or something, but like the floor in the master bedroom, which I do end up covering up with a very large rug, so you don't see very much of it, but like here it looks, I mean, it's kind of like a really, really pale blue, but I don't know, to me it just doesn't quite look blue enough, although it does make the room itself look a little bit less intense, so I guess that's good. And actually the whole outside of the house, I end up repainting it. Before I uploaded it to the gallery, I looked at it again, and at nighttime, you can't even tell that it's blue. Like, it's too light of a color. So I do change it to be the same swatches, just in the different shade of blue, which is also a little interesting, because I used the filtering tools to select only blue items. And I don't remember seeing the darker blue choices when I was picking out the wallpapers for the outside of the house, but they should have been there because they are way more blue than the blue that I chose. I don't know. It's very... Look, this cold medicine has really, like, done a loop on my mental capabilities, and I was working on this house in the last couple of days, and yeah, not making excuses, but if I'm saying things that are a little bit less coherent, that is why. Like, I'm one of those people where if a possible side effect of a medicine is like drowsiness, it will happen to me. Like, I'm not even joking. We sometimes have to give our dog a Benadryl to like help with her allergies, and sometimes we also use it to try to calm her down, like before people come over, because she gets very anxious, which we don't do very much anymore because it does not work on her. Like, we can give her a Benadryl and she'll be fine. She won't have an allergic reaction to anything. She'll stop her sniffling and scratching and stuff, but it doesn't make her drowsy. I take the exact same dosage, like just one little Benadryl pill, and give me an hour and I will be fast asleep. Like, and my dog is like a Chihuahua rat terrier. Like, there is no way that little pill doesn't knock her out and yet knocks me out. But that's just how I am. Medicines like that just make me feel like loopy, and yeah, so if I'm being perfectly honest, the last few days have been kind of a blur. Like, I was listening to Blue, the song, while I was like working on like editing it to make it fit in the intro sequence that I filmed, and it was just like, this like all feels so surreal and weird, and yeah. Anyways, so I do end up, at the end of this video, I do a little bit of a speed create a sim and create a pet, where I do make the guy from the song, and I decided to give him a blue cat. Because, for one thing, there actually is a breed of cat called a Russian blue, which obviously is not like blue, it's like a gray color, but they call them blue, just like, you know, blue dogs. But, so I give him a cat because, I don't know, now that we have pets in the game, having a single sim by themselves who's kind of like a loner and like not having a pet in their life just makes me sad for them. Like, I can't handle it. I don't know. I'm a softie. Everybody needs love, even if the love is coming from a cat and not another human. You know, I mean, there's no shame in that. Cats are pretty cool. I mean, I don't have one, but I know cats. Actually, my brother and my sister-in-law have a cat, and she's so adorable. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel bad for the single sims out there without cats. It's also nice too because, so with cats and dogs, the strays only seem to like spawn and generate in Brindleton Bay, which I guess the Sim Gurus did that like by design, which, okay. I mean, I remember back in like the Sims 2 days, there were cats and dogs like roaming the neighborhoods everywhere. I mean, it was bad. There were issues. And like, if you had a garden, you had to like fence it off because otherwise the stray cats and dogs would come in and like eat your plants and like destroy everything. Like, it got so annoying. And then in The Sims 3, it wasn't quite as intense because it was an open world. So like, they would generate, but there was a lot more space for them to like roam around in, so you didn't really notice it as much. But at the same time, I really wish that people in other worlds would own pets. Like, I kind of want to go into like some of the pre-made households and like give them cats and dogs and, you know, even toddlers. Like, so I've started a Let's Play series. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend doing so. But it's called Ant Life, and so it's about a young adult sim who gains custody of her 2 nieces after their mom is killed in a tragic dryer fire accident. And so the one niece is a child and the other niece is a toddler. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, I love playing with toddlers, but I don't know. I think I've gone about it the wrong way. Like, I always tend to do toddlers as like, I have to get all of their skills all the way maxed, and it's like very achievement driven. So I've played with toddlers quite a bit, but I haven't really gotten the chance to like enjoy the toddlers, you know what I mean? So I want to do like a toddler play date, but like in a brand new save file, none of the pre-made Sims have toddlers. I mean, eventually they will, but like if you start your family with toddlers, by the time the pre-made Sims have kids on their own, or, you know, have babies, and then the babies age up to be toddlers, your toddler has already aged out of being a toddler. So, and actually, as I'm saying this, so I play with MC Command Center. Like, I've used it for years, and honestly, I don't know that I could ever go back to playing without it, because, I don't know, it helps my game feel so much more alive and dynamic, and like, it's like adding in a little bit more story progression, which I really like. So actually, as I'm saying this, though, I don't know that... I don't even remember anymore. If you have pre-made Sims, do they, like, get pregnant and have kids on their own? I don't know. Huh. Anyways, so, but my point being is regardless, if you start off with toddlers, like, you basically have to go in and add toddlers to the game. So I'm thinking that in that game, I'm probably going to have to go in and, like, create toddlers for some of the pre-made families to have. Because otherwise, by the time, I mean, like, I'm playing on the normal lifespan, so you only have a toddler for 6 or 7 days, and you basically have to start from the beginning, like, okay, here are some toddlers, go have toddler playdate fun. So, yeah, I don't know. I wish that there was a way that they could, like, have, because especially since toddlers are a free patch item, I wish they could have gone in and, like, retroactively patched in toddlers into the families. And I think, actually, on one of the Maxis gallery accounts, they did go in and create toddlers to add, like, this toddler belongs to this family and so on and so forth. So I might have to look into that and see, because now that I'm saying this, I'm not sure. Oh, sorry, I feel like super gross right now. Like, this is honestly the longest I've talked in several days. And, you know, like, it's really important to be able to breathe, to stay alive, which is something that I tend to forget about until I lose the ability to breathe through my nose. Like, trying to eat food right now is incredibly difficult because I can only breathe through my mouth. So if I have something in my mouth, I have to, like, chew it really quickly and swallow it really quickly, or else I stop breathing, which is stupid. Like, this is like basic human survival. I don't know. Anyways, so we are now into create a sim. So my sim is Cordon Bleu. I cracked myself up. I'm sorry. This, honestly, like, some of this is like, oh, it'd be so cool to make a blue house, Eiffel 65, da-da-da. But some of this is just me on a ton of cold medicine for the past few days. So, yes, so this is Cordon Bleu. He is a blue sim with blue hair and blue clothes. Actually, I think he's quite stylish considering, you know, I mean, if you turn his skin color to be not blue and his hair being blue is fine. Like, you could change it, you could not change it. I think he's actually a pretty attractive guy. Like, he's got some good style. He does tend to wear an awful lot of blue. But yeah, I don't know. He's kind of an attractive fellow. And I didn't really spend a lot of time on him. I was just like, we'll make a blue guy. So yeah, so that's Cordon. And then his cat's name is Blue Cheese, because I was trying to come up with another word for the last name Blue. It was like a cute pet name, but I couldn't come up with anything. So Blue Cheese and Cordon Bleu, you know, they're best buds. They're chilling out, hanging together. But yeah, so his style is kind of like geek chic is what I would call it. Like, he's very nerdy because, you know, he's got like the glasses and, like, I don't know, just like his whole vibe is very like, I am a nerd and I'm trying really hard to be cool, and I think I've almost pulled it off, but not quite. I'm trying to remember. I know his aspiration is friend of the world, I believe, and then I think I gave him gloomy, and then I'm up to the point where I'm deciding. I'll just wait. Gloomy, geek, and loner. Yes. So he is a loner, so he might not always want to, like, throw parties and stuff, but, you know, things could change. He might decide, hey, I've got this awesome blue house with a blue cat, and I'm blue, and we'll throw a party and dance around to late 90s techno music. I don't know. It could happen. You never know. So yeah, so this house is up on the gallery. There'll be a link to it in the description below, and of course, Cordon Bleu and Blue Cheese are also on the gallery as well, so there'll be a link to them. I'll also put in a link to the challenge and then the creator's YouTube channel. It's Golden Simmer. So yeah, mad props to him for creating this challenge because it gave a cold medicine induced Christine something to do. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, it's a blue house. So yes, so this is the house. So it is darker on the outside now. I also added in the tree out front because it has like, the leaves are kind of like a bluish tinge, and I didn't want to have it be too bare outside. I did have to shrink it down though, which then I realized because it's the tree with the lanterns on it, it makes it look a little like there's like weird firefly glowy things floating around outside, but like, it's cool, it's fine. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I did add some lights outside and changed the lighting color to be blue, which I'm not sure. If you download this from the gallery, you might need to change that. I don't know if the lighting changes upload as well, but I made all of the lights have like the blue cast on them. So this is an extremely blue house, and I hope you guys liked this video. And if you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like it. Thank you. Bye.